So Bessie and I went on another little trip, but this time it was more than a day. But I talked her into going all the way to Chicago because I want to go see my man, aka I am from Monster X, and maybe also do a little, try some of the eats in Chicago because they got some good food there. But of course, the first stop of the trip is Buc-ee's. So of course we had to do a breakfast mukbang before the rest of our drive. So we went to Buc-ee's because we are on like a 10-hour, 9-hour road trip. Now 7 hours. Since it's breakfast time, they didn't have the chips that I like. They had tater tots, and I actually like tater tots, so I thought I was gonna be fine with it, but they're not hot, so I'm not fine with it. So, but I got a croissant sandwich, so let's see how that goes.
I was really about to take a bite.
Oh, go ahead. What kind of burrito did you get?
I got the beast burrito.
Oh, that's kind of scary. The thing about Buc-ee's is most of their food is plant-based, so that's nice. It looks like there's maybe pepper and eggs.
This is good. Very sweet.
Did you try the salsa?
No, not yet.
Although I got a sandwich, I think I'm gonna try the salsa. It is a bit pepper. You were right.
Oh, the green sauce?
What's crazy is I really love the flavor of like the green sauces. Like every time I have it, it doesn't matter the location. But some places are spicier than others.
This just smells like Mexican salsa. Probably is. I wonder what they were saying in there. It sounded like they were celebrating. Like, I don't know, when people were buying or something.
Oh, you know what I think it is? I think in Buc-ee's maybe they make noise when like food is done. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know the Buc-ee's lore. Someone tell us the Buc-ee's lore. Oh, we're all behind this.
No, that one.
I don't feel like blurring her out.
This sauce,
Oh,
hopefully you don't get heartburn.
I don't think I got napkins.
I think I have so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want to try the tots?
I have tots in here.
Oh! We have tots at home, vibes. You know?
You know?
This feels so messy. Ah. This might be more protein than my face is so messy.
You're zoning out.
This was so messy. Show the inside your food. When we got back on the road, of course, it was raining cats and dogs for a good chunk of the time, but it wasn't too bad. And, it was fun, I guess, seeing the different views that the various states have to offer. So, like, we stopped in, like, Indiana and a couple places. like, for the pit stops, and I almost lost, or I thought I lost my bestie at one point, and I was like panicking, but eventually found her, and yeah. Also, these things, what are these? The windmill things? This was fun to look at. They had so many of these before we made it to our final destination. But yeah, it was kind of exciting, and here we are. We finally reached Chicago, and I think how long it took us? Like, I think it was around 10 hours, and yeah, it was just like a lot of interesting things to see. But by the time we reached, it was kind of like evening, and we got to go to a mall like right before it closed, and they had this K-pop store that I only bought a couple things from because honestly,
Wait, these are cute.
I don't know, it was a little pricey. Some of the most of the stuff was a little pricey for me, so I only bought a couple items, like a gift for my sister. Oh, I was tempted by the season's greetings. I've yet to buy season's greetings despite being a fan for like 10 years, like a K-pop fan for 10 years. Yeah, but I only got like maybe like a PC book holder or something. But this mall was interesting. They had a lot of like art pieces in there, so we kind of was just there for the vibes right before they closed. And then of course we had to go get some Chicago style pizza, which I have yet to try, although I've been to Chicago once before. And I found this like local chain that has a bunch of locations, including in the suburbs, because that's where we stayed, despite the fact that we was, the concert we was going to was more like in the city. But yeah, I was excited to finally try the Chicago style pizza, and I got the veggie, and Bestie got like more the meat one, and it was good. It kind of has almost like this lasagna vibe. It was, for me personally, a little hard to chew, but I still enjoyed it. And this place, like I said, it's like a local chain. They was also talking up their desserts, and I saw they had this like fresh baked cookie, and it came with ice cream. I was like, okay, that sounds good. I'll try that. And they had this like single serving one, and so, like I said, because it's fresh baked, okay, it also took like a while to come. And when it finally reached, it just was like, the cookie was, and okay, mind you, I love soft baked chewy cookies, but this cookie tasted like underdone. But because it was still technically warm, the ice cream was like instantly like melty. So it was like I was eating almost like cookie dough milkshake. It was just not my vibe personally. So would maybe go back for pizza, but not for the dessert, unfortunately. So that was the end of the night, and next day we had some pretty good complimentary breakfast at the hotel, and we planned a full day of sightseeing before the concert, which is, of course, at night. And so we decided to drive over and park near where the bean is. And apparently this was also a day where a bunch of stuff was going on. I found out later there was like, one of those fan convention things. I found out like Corbin Blue and Lucas Grable was at it, and I was like, man, I should have gone. But there was not just this fan convention, there was also like a big game going on, and of course there was, the concert that I was in town for. And so this parking garage that we thought was gonna be either free or like not too expensive was like stupidly expensive, and we were like, there's no turning back now. So we, went on our way sightseeing.
Happened to us? Oh my gosh. So Tifu decided to take us to a parking garage.
What? Excuse me? Not true. I just consented to free parking. It was not Like I said, I consented to a parking garage.
Not free at all. But anyways.
Wait. What? There's stuff going on. The view has been ruined by yoga. Oh.
Okay, so we go into the garage, right? And then we see a sign of like 2 events that are happening today, and it's for $46 to park there. And so we go to one of the people, and I'm like, do I really have to pay $46? And they're like, yeah. Do you have a ticket, or are you just paying for parking? I'm like, I don't even live here. She's like, oh. And I was like, whatever, I'll just pay for it. And so we go in, and then it's a labyrinth in the garage. We can't get out. Well, at least we're trying to. And I think we went down 2 floors, right? Or 1 floor?
We're literally about to interrupt this yoga retreat thing. I don't know what's going on. We're about to interrupt it to go to the bathroom. So that's awkward.
Oh, have you seen those where like friends take it and they're like this?
So last time I went sightseeing in Chicago, I had like a super early start, and there was literally no one at like the park or the bean and stuff. So when we got here and the yoga retreat was going on, I was like in shock, but it didn't last long. Like it was actually low-key ending by the time we got there, and we met a couple of the people who was attending it, and they were so nice, and like we took pictures like for each other and stuff. And they also had like people giving out
honestly
like, free drinks and stuff,
rain
so it was nice. But of course it started raining while we were sightseeing. Now did it kind of add to like the atmosphere? Like,
yeah,
tell me this isn't a vibe right now. The rain falling and all the nature, and then like the cityscape in the background. Yeah, I just like, it was kind of a vibe, but it was a little awkward. Like we was walking around with this huge umbrella, kind of K-drama style, you know? But yeah, we stopped, we took some cute pictures, and of course headed over to the bean. And I experienced almost like a form of culture shock, because literally the last time I was at the bean, there was not one soul there, and of course everyone was there this day. And I was like, okay, this is kind of like what it looks like when I've seen other people's pictures. But anyways, I've got to experience 2 extremes now. And then we went walking to look for this historical building, and we literally walked past it. It was so unassuming. We walked past it and got lost for like a few minutes. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think it might have been back there. And so we made it. And the thing is, I think it was partially under construction, like, while we were there. Like, do you see this? So, the, like, cool pictures I'd seen other people taking online, I couldn't really replicate, or, like, I mean, this still looks cool. I'll give it that. It still looks cool. But it was like, oh, this isn't what I was expecting. But anyways, and then it started pouring. Like, you know, the cute Asford spring from earlier was nice, but then this, like, it was actually pouring. And so we kind of just, like, stood there for, like, a bit until it calmed down. So, and then eventually we were like, okay, it's time to brave the storm. And we went back by that park where the yoga had been going on to go to the bathroom yet again. And the free drinks were still there, so we grabbed a couple of those to do a little review. We got these free, like, small drinks. It's called overpaid. It's like anti-oxidants for the water. Energizes your skin. I think for you, because it was like such a mine is kind of smashed up. I just wanted this flavor. Because, like, and this one So you'll never believe that right after we left that parking garage, like, we were headed to our next location, and someone hit Bessie's car and just drove away. And so we just, like, sat in the zoo's parking lot for a while, like, questioning, like, everything. But eventually we decided we gotta make the most of things, and the zoo was technically free, like, we just paid for the parking. And yeah, we attempted to, redeem the trip, make the most of things, and go to the zoo. But I will say, like, I feel like half of the animals were not, like, out, but there were still, like, nice things to see. Like, the nature was nice. There was zebra, there was flamingo, there were lions, although it took me a while to find them. And of course, my favorite, the red panda. Like, this was kind of the highlight of the trip, and brought some momentary happiness. So, yeah, but yeah, we were only here for just kind of like a little bit. I'm trying to remember if it was like an hour or so, but we ended up going to the venue. We decided, like, kind of gamble, because there was just not, like, any parking near the venue that the concert was at. So we walked from the zoo parking, although the zoo parking closed at, like, a certain time. I was like, okay, the concert is estimated
Could never be me.
to, end around this time, so hopefully we can make it. Also, we didn't have sound check, but you could hear sound check from outside. And of course, it was raining while we were waiting in line. And when we were, like, heading in, they were confiscating things like, I think, light sticks and umbrellas. My umbrella was really small, so they didn't confiscate it. But that was crazy. And I got injured as soon as I entered the venue. Like, I was headed towards the pit area, and the lights was already dim, and they had multiple like steps. They had this, like, lounge area, then they had a step down, and then from that area they had a step down into the pit. But because the lights was dim and the step was the same color as the main floor where the people were at, I just could not see it, missed the step, and had, like, the worst sprain. I've had multiple sprains, but this was the worst sprain I feel like I've had yet. I shouldn't even say yet, but it's the worst sprain I've had in my life. And that says a lot, since I've had several. But it was really bad. Immediately I felt like faint, dazed, dehydrated, like all the things. And it was just really rough. And I was sent to this, like, lounge area. So the same area that I had left from to go to the pit. And I remember the, like, medic on staff there was asking me questions like, what she could do to help. Like, do you need anything? And I'm just like, yeah, can, like, after you wrap my ankle, can you get me a cup of water? I feel really sick. And I just remember her being kind of like, I'll see what I can do. Like, as if it was this, like, impossible request. Like, girl, I really want to sue you guys right now. Like, not her specifically, but, like, I guess the venue. But since it was, like, a totally different state and all this stuff, not even gonna try. But I just was like, wow, I can't believe what this day has turned into. So I had to watch the concert. Did I mention that this literally happened like 30 minutes to an hour before the concert started? Like, it happened as soon as I got in there. It was just really crazy. And so I had to watch the concert, like, in pain, trying not to cry, from this little lounge area. Thankfully, still had an okayish view. And another thing that made it, like, I guess easier to get through is the fellow, like, attendees, the other fans, and of course my best friend, like, really made it, like, it made it able for me to get through. because I was really in a lot of pain, but the good vibes from the other people and like just the good spirit and encouragement and stuff really was helpful, and I'm really thankful for all those people and my best friend. And of course was great, but it is still like very bittersweet seeing my bias and, you know, being in pain like at the same time. Because I didn't feel well, it was really hard to, you know, even get like good video. I guess I should be very thankful just like I was able to get anything, but my hands were so shaky, as is apparent from these videos. So it's just very bittersweet. But I'll take a break from my sad story so y'all could see and hear a little bit of I Am.
Guys, what's the matter? You guys have attention to what's going on? Holiday in the Skyline is one of my favorite songs. The pain from those two, you guys, I definitely bet you guys like Skyline. It's so different. I know it's really bittersweet, but I really have to say this. I only have one supply. Unfortunately, I only have one supply. So the next song is going to be MMI, which is it stands for Me, Myself, and I. I want you guys to do me a favor. You guys just need to repeat the last word. When I say be myself, and I, yes, you guys have to say and I. That's easy, right? It's me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I. Okay, and the last sentence goes like, oh my, oh my, oh my. That's really easy. You don't have to practice that. What's that? So the lyrics goes like da 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 da. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. You ready? Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to our show. It was a really good time. You guys are so hard. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Love you. Let's go.
So I'm not gonna share too many clips from the concert because I feel like YouTube always want to flag for copyright if you post a full song or anything. So I'm gonna eventually post like some of my very shaky fan cams on like TikTok or Instagram and stuff, but I'm really bad about posting after trips because I either coming back injured or sick or just exhausted, and you go back to your routine of the busy schedule and things. But I'm gonna post this stuff, okay, at some point. But yeah, I had the walk of shame, very much so, going back into that hotel room. And we initially had plans for sightseeing that morning before we head back. And I was going to see my friends who live in Chicago and stuff. But after the day we had and me being so very much injured, we had to cancel that and immediately just get on the road. And we did stop by Culver's for a little comfort food at some point, because, what is a road trip without Culver's at this point? But it was right before closing. But thank God the staff were so pleasant and nice. And I don't know if they could tell I was injured, although I didn't have my medical boot or anything on. But yeah, it was at least a good Culver's experience. And I just have to praise my best friend again. For putting up with my craziness and my injury, and for staying strong despite that accident that happened and then driving all those hours. She's amazing. But one last sad story is, we didn't get there super early, but we still managed to get some freebies at this concert. And they were all very cute. Like, the fans there were so nice and everything, and I loved these freebies. But when I got home from that trip, everything was a blur, and I have misplaced this bag of freebies, and I'm so sad about it. Still don't know where it is. So one last sob story to this weekend trip / concert experience gone wrong. But yeah, it was an experience. But thank you for joining the journey.